This is the remains of all of the old Huracán film.
It went from looking like this to this.
Right, we have this Lamborghini Huracán Performante in for replacement PPF. Now the customer bought this car with film on the car, so it's not a bad install. It's just a few areas where the patterns are quite lacking compared to our fitment. We're going to show you some areas that are of concern. First areas are around the headlights. They're very, very gappy, so we do have a lot of exposed paintwork that can be damaged with stone chips. This actually has happened already, so a bit of a shame. But we will be repairing this before we replace the film. A small stone chip just below the wing, which again, the gaps are huge. So this is why that's happened. Fitment along this edge, fouling film, top edge of the bonnet. So this mirror has a 3-piece kit, which is normal, but the exposed edge is too much. Roof kit, very exposed on the top edge, just above the windscreen. That is a very, very common area to get stone chips. Fingers around the rear lights. This lovely forged carbon fiber wing, I mean, it's a masterpiece. Unfortunately, there is no film on the edge, so they've sort of break it too high. That has led to a bit of a chip or a lacquer. Currently, there is no PPF on these swan neck areas. We will be applying film to them. So this Huracán is missing the Performante stickers as well on the lower doors, but we will get those replaced from Lamborghini. Right, so let's safely remove this PPF.
Cue the montage. This really was a painstaking process. It took us almost a day to get through all of this film removal, but once it's off, we're good to go.
The film is off. As you can see, it is a bit yellow. That is just down to it being slightly low quality film. Have no fear, we're about to put the new stuff on. Let's get it going.
But first, George is in the office amending all of the Lamborghini patterns, making sure there's not a single edge in sight.
So, over the last 2 days, we have stripped all the old PPF off the car. It was quite low quality, so it's left quite a lot of glue behind. I've used 2 litres of tire and glue remover, and then we have machine polished the whole car. Now it looks absolutely flawless. It was very, very swelled and very scratched, so I was quite surprised what was on that old film. But yeah, you can see the level of gloss it is now. It looks absolutely incredible.
Yes, it does, George. So let's crack on with getting the PPF on. Kicking it off with the front wing sections. Considering how many gaps this Lamborghini had in its original PPF, George is ensuring that every single edge wrap is absolutely bang on, making sure that there's not a single edge inside. Finishing this panel off with a heat seal and a final check over. Time to jump on one of the biggest panels on this Lamborghini, the rear quarter. With that rear quarter looking great, it's time to jump onto the bonnet. George is making sure that each and every corner at this point is absolutely bang on alignment so that the install goes perfectly smoothly. Now it's time to jump onto that rear engine bay. As you can see here, George is getting great coverage on these edges from adapting those original patterns. How good is this Lamborghini looking? Now George is done with the roof, he's going to move on to that front bumper section. This was a challenging bumper to put on as there were so many intricate winglets on that lower section. George making sure that every single edge here is wrapped and hidden, making sure that we don't get any stone chips in the future. Oops. Applying the finishing touches here with the Lamborghini Ala sticker, ready for the customer handover.
So this Lamborghini Huracán Performante is complete. We have done a lot of modifications to the existing XWell pattern, which we're very proud about actually. The frame leading up to the roof is completely tucked into the seals around the windscreen. There's no edge at all, and increased protection, because this area does get very chipped. Lovely, clean install on a roof with the back areas wrapped into the rear quarters. So again, there's no visible edge around here, relief cut. We have wrapped into the fuel filler cap as well, so that's really nice, neat and tidy. There was a lot of gaps around the headlights with the previous PPF, but this time we've gone really, really far in and actually wrapped inside the headlamp, so there's no edge at all. Both wings and doors are now wrapped into the edge. Also, I've added a wrap to the top edge of the door as well. Before that was quite gappy, and again, big gaps down here, quite unsightly when they got dirty. So this beautiful forged carbon splitter now has paint protection film in it. We've now added the Lamborghini Ala sticker too, so it's completely factory spec.
This guy has done a killer job on this Lamborghini Huracán Performante. Let us know down in the comments what you think. See you in the next one.
These high gloss swan neck areas don't actually have film in them, so we're going to put film in them when we do our film.
What?